Hello everybody and welcome back to Manor Lords. So you may have seen my initial impressions video from yesterday of this Manor Lords demo. I've played quite a bit more and I've spent maybe about 2 to 3.5 hours with the game now. I spent about an hour building up this small village and I've started to run out of content for the demo. But I just kind of want to show you what a slightly more developed town looks like. Something that's spent a little bit more time. We're a little bit in debt to the crown here, but we do have a rather large setup of pretty much every resource. Now, this is more or less going to be a showcase, is because this game is so unfinished, and I've actually started to run into performance problems. If I push the game up to full speed, it creases down to a halt on my machine. Now, keep in mind that this is a very, very demanding game, and I have managed to find the options menu now, and I've managed to tweak a few things so it runs a little bit better, but at least on my current machine, it's starting to hit problems. That's being a i7-7700K processor and a GTX 1070 and 64 gigabytes of RAM. That being said, I am getting a new graphics card in a week, but all of this being said, we're gonna kind of roll around and just kind of have a look at the early spring into summer into fall of a slightly more developed city than previous. Now, this is the biggest city I've ever built. I'm not claiming it's the biggest city anyone will have ever built, but that's what I'm titling it as my biggest city so far. Anyway, so let's speed the game up just slightly. Something that I would like to show you that I haven't made it to yet is I've been importing clothes. From what I can tell in the current demo, you can't make clothing. Looks like we're going to need to have more clothing types available. So with a little bit of messing around, especially with the trading post, I've managed to get it to the point now where we are selling tools, which is good, and importing other things. This trade menu is not very clear. I'm not super thrilled with how it works, but, you know, it is nice to know that we are at the very least selling stuff and getting money out of it. If I go over to, I think it's crafted materials, there is a option, yes, this one. So we can see we have cloaks, shoes, and linen clothes. I think what the game wants me to do is import some of these cloaks. This should theoretically give us an improved amount of clothing. We're also going to try and import more linen clothes. Turns out selling tools is a decent to good kind of industry to have running. Now, the beauty of this game is really its selling point. So we're just going to kind of enjoy the beautiful kind of landscape that we've built here in this quaint little town. As far as scale for this town, as you can see, we've built out this area. Initially, we fed mostly off of these wild animals and these berries. I do have these 2 nice farm fields in the middle, which we are using to produce bread. Currently, we are doing another round of wheat, and then over here we're working on flax, which I'm now realizing is a little bit redundant considering the game doesn't actually, you know, let me make clothing out of it. I can make linen, but I can't make clothing. At least, I haven't made it that far yet. We don't quite have enough food, so we can no longer... We were pretty close to being able to upgrade certain buildings for a little bit there. See, I'm only 1 target off. We have entertainment, we have clothing, we have food, and we have faith. We do have a church kind of constructed a little bit... where is it? This way, right here. This is our church. Something I think is kind of neat about the church is you can change the bell sound. I like the cowbell sound, because everything in this world needs more cowbell. But we're going to throw down a few more bits of housing in a moment once we get some more wood logged. Something that the game doesn't tell you at all, but is a good thing to know, is that if you build a forester hut, they will replant trees and you'll actually have a more consistent supply of logged wood from your loggers. As far as these exposed storage, that is literally just these last few pieces of wood. I don't know how to prioritize these or get them to remove them. They've just been there and from what I can tell aren't going to leave there. I'm going to increase those for when I actually do have the population for it. Let's get some more of that housing down that I was talking about. So I'm gonna need double the wood, but that's okay. Now I'm gonna show you kind of what I mean by performance issues in this game. I'm going to increase the speed up to 16 times. And let's see if we get the game crashing to a halt. It seems to happen specifically whenever trading happens. Also, something worth noting is that slight camera jostle has been noted to make a few people nauseous, and there is no way currently to disable it. There is a screen shake option to turn off screen shake within the options menu. However, that little slight screen jostle is still there, even with that option disabled. So, developer, you might want to look into that if anybody from Hooded Horse is watching. Of course, I will send this off in a feedback email. But we're going to continue getting that put together. But as the town grows, you know, we're getting close to that 100 mark of people in the town itself, which I think is a pretty good starter, considering, like, I've had some issues with crashes, specifically when loading a new fort, or not fort, but a new city, as well as the kind of concerning issue of, oh, there is no saving function. So I like to think that this is a pretty big town as far as Manor Lords is concerned. And slow the game down a little bit and enjoy the ambience. Let's see if I was trying to click on this person. Look at this guy. On a wagon through town. Someone has to. It ain't much, but it is honest work. So is phasing through that wall. I love these kind of vistas that you get in this game where it's just like, oh man, just see the neighboring villages. I can't wait until this game has combat. I'm so keen for what this game turns into when it actually releases into some form of early access. All right, let's speed up time again and get through the year. We're going to watch our farms. These backyards for all of these people here have vegetables, so they can plant their own veggie farms. This helps keep them sustained, from what I can tell, and it seems to kind of pad out the amount of food that you have. Something that I'm using to produce a very large portion of my food, and also largely the reason why you're going to see a lot of those notifications saying that we have exposed stuff is I have a stupidly large amount of flour that I don't seem to be able to sell, and I don't seem to be able to use all of. So, in fact, I think maybe it would be a good idea to just make a second communal oven, which is not very intuitive in this UI. Another thing I would love for this game would just be a search function to be able to type in, I want this thing. Give me this thing. There we go, communal oven. The one that doesn't have a picture. No wonder I didn't see it. Plop it right next to the other one, which is fully employed and working as frickin' fast as they can. And get this second one constructed here with some of that extra wood that we have. We still have 5 months worth of food and 8 months worth of fuel. Working on that flax. Sooner rather than later, we'll be working on more of this. Also, if I look at my crops here, you can see we have 2,500 grain, which largely means we just need more people to eat it. So, let's build some more housing. But for a demo, I think that this is actually a very early look, and I actually kind of admire the publisher and the developer of this game for putting this game forward in such a unfinished state. You know, like that was weird. Let's just pull the game down. Putting this game forward in such an unfinished state. I think it's very brave of them. They kind of, it's obvious that they know what they have. They have something that is very much desired and people are excited for it. I see, it's too steep. People are excited for it, and that is always a good sign when you are promoting a video game, right? And the fact that it's something that people want regardless of how unfinished it is, and the buzz that this demo is getting really kind of proves that this game's going to be huge. This is going to be a very, very successful game. Now let's just hope that the game's quality holds up to it. I mean, the visuals are something. Frame rate lag aside, the visuals are something. It's okay, a pretty slideshow is still pretty. Building more of that. Wonder if they finished up that second communal oven. They did. I'm going to open it up for jobs. Currently there's nobody available, but that's fine. Get one in there. Open you up.
Let's get to work.
Early game, I did find myself a lot on my most recent playthroughs, shifting things around a whole bunch to make sure that oh geez, another big lag spike. Shifting things around so that I could make sure that there was enough workers for different places. We're up above 100 population now. as we build up these new houses. Got 4 months worth of food heading into June. All right, well, we've still got all of summer to produce food, collect berries, hunt for meats and such. I mean, we got tons of vegetables, almost no berries currently. Bread is still flying up, that's good. And now we have all of summer to go harvest meat. Over here is my regional wealth, which isn't to be confused with my own personal treasury. I should probably slow the game down so it stops lagging. There it goes. On the bright side, when you do slow it down, it does mostly fix the frame rate usually. We'll keep it on middle speed and see if that works a little better. I don't know if this is the game hitting bottlenecks or if this is just my computer. It's possible it's just my computer, which in that case I do apologize. Building up the last of these new houses. But yeah, this is my biggest city so far. I'm still excited about this game. It's very rare that I make 2 videos about a game. But here we are, making a second one. If you want to see more of this video game, maybe subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I've done 2 in a week, so that has to be signs of things to come if you want to see more of this. If you want to see Dwarf Fortress, I got more of that than you could reasonably watch in a lifetime, so that this is a good channel to be on. If you want to see more of this game in specific, there will probably be more of it once the next version drops, as I've more or less seen everything there is to see in this demo. Of course, there are still these manor houses that you can build, which might not be a bad thing to construct, but these hold 10 people and take 10 timber, which I don't really want to go spending right now. I think that these tiny little smaller houses are maybe a little bit wiser still. Of course, over in this area, there's these manor houses, there's bailey walls, and then there's gatehouses to wall off your manor houses. We do have the functioning brewery and tavern and everything. But aside from that, we're just starting to run out of things to do. So there will be more footage of this game once I have the early access release. If you want to see more videos from me, you can go to my YouTube channel or visit me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. If you want to support this video and videos like it, man, this game is pretty. If you want to support this video or more videos like it, you can do that at my Patreon or via super thanks down in the comments section of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this slightly laggy second look at the demo for Manor Lords and my biggest city that I'm going to be building in this version. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.